Well, as you can see, the weather's beautiful right now. It's raining, but this showed up, which is way outside my normal stuff. I'd been in a wreck. I was trying to get it a while ago. Didn't think it was going to work out. Every panel was just absolutely creamed. The rear end of the car, the rear end axle is sitting in the bed. Again, just there's a lot of damage on it. It's toast. It got hit hard enough. I think it rolled over, if I remember right. I'm not exactly sure the story. However, what is important is what's in here. And for those of you that don't know, that is a Coyote motor. And I also did not know the ECU was here, and it also turns out that the key is here. So this was an insurance. Basically, they didn't want it, so lucky me. However, we don't know if the motor's any good. So what we'll probably do is start getting rid of some of this stuff out of the way, hooking some stuff up back that we need to make it run, and then see if it will turn over. If it will, we will probably take the motor and trans and use it in something else at some point and get rid of all this other stuff. But for now, we're going to remove some of this stuff out of the way just to make it easier to get this thing to start. As you can tell, it's toast. But there's some good usable parts still on here. So we will see what happens. But this is going to be a park it in the corner somewhere type project. So, because I don't have anything for this Coyote to go in right now. The wagon, it will not fit. It's too wide to safely do it or properly do it. And then move that out of the way. But yeah, she's definitely been sitting, and there's definite issues with how this is sitting here. But again, for now, I'm gonna leave everything is, just remove what we don't need, start selling what we don't need. Most of this is scrap, but it keeps it covered for now. So we will probably cover it back up and then see what it looks like. We're gonna check the oil and everything else. But I thought y'all would get a kick out of this. All right, a few power tools and a little prying later. We ripped out the fenders. They were no good anyway. They're scrap. And then we got the fender liners out. So this is cut down a lot. We've got all the connectors that I can find plugged up, except for, I gotta check a diagram because these four have to be in the correct place, so this thing is not going to start at all. So we're going to work on that now here in just a sec. Let's see if we can get this thing to start. My worry is something else is not great. Looks like everything else is plugged up around there, just very nasty. ABS module looks like it may be loose, but we're gonna get that figured out and then go from there. Well, as y'all can tell by the chime, we have power again. And it looks like the engine had 174,133 miles. So that is a tired Coyote, but a Coyote nonetheless. We're gonna check over a couple more things because I'm pretty sure I've got a fuel line loose, which is this. That's loose. I think that went to the brake booster, which isn't a big deal. We can plug that back on there later. That's not gonna not keep it from running. Looks like everything else is good. We just gotta get the fuel lines done. All right, after roughly an hour's worth of work, the bed was just sitting on there. It wasn't bolted down, so all this was pretty fast. The cab's too far forward, so it's almost hitting the back of the engine. Something's unplugged still somewhere because I'm not getting any fuel pump power. Although all that's plugged back in, I've got fuel. I'm still not getting fire. I did, however, throw a little bit of fuel ether down, well, not fuel, ether down the throttle body, and it popped over. I didn't do it long because I don't want to damage anything. However, so that tells me it runs. I'm just not getting fuel power or fuel pump power, so I've got to figure that out. And it looks like a bunch of sensors and stuff are kind of jammed up there on the back. The fuel pump is plugged in and the line is plugged in. I just plugged it in myself not long ago. So I just got to figure out fuel pump issue, and I may have to go through the fuse box and just see if maybe something's loose or disconnected. But either way, we should hopefully have this thing running next time I get some time with it. But that is it for today. All right, this one little part right here that I was missing, fuel pump driver. We got the key on. We're gonna see if she cranks. Everything else is a little mad. I smell fuel. Well, looks like I got a fuel line loose. Okay, looks like I got a fuel line leak somewhere over here. So we'll remedy that. I'm gonna have to back this cab up a little bit. We're gonna remedy that and then it should run. All right, fuel pressure we have. We seriously have fuel. Seriously, we have a ton of fuel. As you can tell, ignore all the pine straw. That sensor is missing, which looks like the pressure sensor, which looks like where this is. So we will need to get that or plug it off for now. I don't know that it'll run without that. I'm guessing it will need to see pressure before it runs. I thought I moved the cab back. It was a little bit too far forward on the engine, so I thought it was pinching a line and that's where the fuel leaking. Then I moved a few things around and that's where she's leaking from. So I'm gonna have to order that as well. Not a big deal. But once that is on, I should have fuel to the front and we should be able to run this thing, which is awesome. And then go from there. Well, it is Sunday, which means I have some time in the shop, and obviously I'm standing in a hole. That means something's gone, and that means the Cobra Mustang is out of here. Customer picked it up. He's not hearing the noise anymore. The only thing we're hearing now is just the chatter on the belt from the tensioner, and that's something that's, you know, it's an AC delete. A lot of times when you do those kits, they just don't cooperate, or the belt's too big, too small. A lot of play in the belt chatter will do that, but that's all right. So that is gone. We still have the wagon over here. I may be coming back to this one sooner rather than later. We'll get into that later. I don't want to tease y'all, but I may have a deal worked out where I get some help to finish wiring on this. Obviously, I can only do so much myself, so I may be making a deal with somebody that's really good with wiring, and that'll come in, you know, in handy, because that's pretty much all I like on that car. Obviously, we still have to do exhaust and a few other things, but anyway, the wiring's the main thing. I plan on trying to get some work done on the Chevelle today. I need to figure out the brakes and why they're not operating correctly. Last time I moved it, I had no brakes, and it scared the crap out of me. The brakes were working when it came in, so something's got an issue somewhere. I need to get on this one and get it out of my garage because it's just taking up space at this point. It's kind of a long story why I have it. I've had this car here probably a year and a half. Some of it was storage, and I told them I'd work on it when I did. What we agreed upon, I'm done with. I fixed the bent front end where they towed it using the radiator support. That's fixed, and then I got it running again, which it's going to need some more work now that it's set up this long. We still do have the Coyote truck, and that may be what I'm making a deal. Obviously, probably some cash and then some labor on getting that wiring done. So I don't know I'm keeping it. I don't really want it sitting around. It doesn't fit my usual new stuff, old stuff sitting around. So I may be making a deal on that truck and help finish wiring. That'll put me some cash. And the reason I want to do that is not only will it get the wagon running, but I'm planning on putting a carport over here, two-car carport, to give me some more room so some of this stuff can get pulled out when I need the racks and stuff and not have to shuffle 6 things around like I've been doing lately with the Corvette. So let me So the Bel Air, I have a deal with a guy, cash deal, and then he's also giving me a the wagon trunk lid is rusted out. He is giving me a trunk lid that's perfect shape, different color, but I can mimic the paint, and some cash. So we're making a trade deal on this. I'm just waiting on that to get picked up. The Rambler is still for sale. I'm just not gonna get to it. At some point I may try to pop a hot battery and see if it runs. In the meantime, it's still for sale. Today I didn't film a lot of stuff today, mainly because I just didn't have time. I had to do some other stuff as well. So let me show if I can get the hood open with one hand. We have the new proportioning valve in. Only problem is I did not get the bleeder screw for here. It is different than the factory. Everything else is good, so I've got to get that. That stalled us today on that. And then I think the fuel pump is being weak. Obviously, we've still got a little trash in the lines in the filter, but I think the fuel pump has an issue. So that was the original fuel pump, not a big deal. We'll get a new one. It's pretty common. This is sold. My buddy just hasn't picked it up yet. And then we have this truck cab and short bed chassis. If I was going to keep that Coyote, I would probably try to Crown Vic this chassis, because it's already stripped. Just pop this cab off, strip the chassis, Coyote swap this, and then find a good donor truck to put on it. Right now I have too many projects. That's kind of why I want to get that gone. As soon as these two moves, we're going to cut these limbs overhead that are hanging, because I don't want to do any damage to these cars. We did a pretty good job of clearing that out over there. So I am low on inventory. Obviously the C10 is not for sale. So yeah, I'm pretty low on inventory. We got a good bit done today, but there is a storm about to roll in. You can hear thunder off in the distance. So we're going to get everything shut down and put up for the night. And we have a pile burning from where we cut some limbs down, so that'll get burnt out with the storm. But that is pretty much the update for recently. Not much work on the C10, unfortunately. I've been working on other people's cars. Another thing I haven't filmed is I went back and worked on that F50s Ford truck some more. It needed the carb. I suggested them getting a better carb and some other stuff, and they got it. So I've been working on that. Also at their house, but I did not film at their house out of respect for their privacy. So that is pretty much where we are at. We're going to try to free up some more room in the shop and get some more stuff going, and we should have some more updates soon. And as you can see, this was a bigger pile. We pulled some metal out of it from the last one. That should burn down just in time for the storm to get here and put it out. I'm sure we'll have some more stuff to add to it here soon, but that's it for today. Another update that y'all will be happy about. Hood wagon's up. We're working on some wiring. I made a deal with the Coyote and a friend of mine to get some help on this wiring and just get it finished up. I just kind of hit a brick wall, and he and his son are way better at wiring, which his son's the one that wants the Coyote motor for a donor swap, which is cool. So I am essentially trading him that drivetrain and some money for some help on this. So hopefully we can get this sorted soon and back on the road. I know once the electrical is all good and I have everything squared away, I know it still needs exhaust, and I'm not sure what else it might need. The interior is good enough for now. It'd be one of those use it as I go type deals. So as you can see, things are everywhere. Screen and everything is in. We got to wire that in to where we're going to finish this wiring. We still got to figure out the light switch, the brake switch, and then hook up what I need to get the EFI going, and then that's pretty much it. So it's mostly at this point just making sure everything is good and going back over what I did when I was half asleep. Some of the stuff he's kind of already helped me with just because he's good. It's no secret that I hate wiring, so lucky for me, he wanted that and it worked out. It's a good trade deal, and y'all may get to see this thing out sooner than you think. So we are working on it, but still a little ways off.